Bump by Richard Iles. Dedicated to Matthew George Walsh. Letter 1 to Mrs. Harris, Australia. From Oxton, England, February the 15th, 2025. You're not going to believe this. I have to tell someone before I simply implode. For the past 2 weeks, I've been bumping into the same man every single day. Different places, different times, but it's definitely him. Either I'm living inside a romantic comedy written by someone with a twisted sense of humour, or my postcode's been cursed by Cupid himself. The first time was nothing, or so I thought. I was out on my usual morning jog through Victoria Park, pretending I actually like exercise, when I saw him. He was standing by the old stone entrance. You know, the one with the mossy lion heads, tossing a ball for his collie. Perfect dog, perfect stance, perfect man. Honestly, Deb, he looked like he just stepped out of an oat milk advert. Our eyes met for the briefest moment, and I swear time stopped. Or maybe it was just my lungs collapsing. He smiled, just a flicker, and I tripped over my own foot like a toddler learning to balance. He didn't laugh, which almost made it worse. He just raised an eyebrow. That tiny amused look that said, "Oh dear, she's one of those people who run into things." I sprinted off, mortified. Told myself it was nothing. A chance encounter. The kind you forget about after your first sip of coffee. But the next day, there he was again. I'd nipped to the supermarket after work. No makeup, hair scraped back, wearing the kind of joggers that make strangers avert their eyes out of pity. I was in the discount section, debating whether half-price hummus was worth food poisoning, when I caught a glimpse of him in the glass of the fridge door. Same man. Same blue eyes. He was squeezing avocados with the kind of intensity normally reserved for bomb disposal experts. My heart started pounding like the start of a Meatloaf song. I panicked and bolted down the cereal aisle. There is no universe in which I'm caught looking like a prequel to a breakdown. Monday rolled around and I thought, fine, maybe twice is coincidence. By lunchtime, my stomach was growling. I went to that little sandwich place on the corner. The guy at the counter shouted my order, "VLT on sourdough!" And who pops his head out of the kitchen? Apron, hairnet, knife in hand. Him. I nearly dropped my purse. Since I didn't know his name, I started calling him KP, Kitchen Porter. Not Carl Pilkington, though the confusion would be hilarious. He didn't see me, but I saw him. And suddenly the world felt about 5 streets wide. Tuesday, I told myself the whole thing was silly. But then the taxi driver had to go and make it worse. I'd hopped in, dead tired. And he's glued to his phone, hooked on his dashboard, watching some viral video. A woman eating an ice lolly, suggestively, apparently unaware of the people watching her. The punchline? She's blind. The poor bloke in the background looking deeply uncomfortable. Guess who? The driver chuckled. "Filmed round here, you know," he said. I gave him my address and stared out the window, wondering if I was living in a Twilight Zone episode, or if I was being followed by the world's most oblivious man. That night I stopped keeping a record. A little notebook on the bedside table. Saturday, park. Sunday, supermarket. Monday, sandwich shop. Tuesday, viral video. Wednesday, bus 410. By Thursday, it was getting ridiculous. Lorraine and I went to the cinema. Bridget Jones mad about the boy. Because what else do you do when your love life feels like a badly timed sequel? We were queuing for popcorn when I felt it again. That spark. That someone's watching me tingle. "Excuse me," a voice said. Warm and polite, with that faint scouse lilt. "You're up next." I turned and nearly dropped my popcorn. Him. He smiled, the kind of smile that could melt a traffic warden's heart, and pointed to the free kiosk. I muttered something that sounded like a dying seagull and shuffled forwards. Lorraine leaned over, smirking. "Is that your ex?" she whispered. I just nodded. easier than explaining cosmic coincidence. Inside, during the adverts and trailers, notably Nosferatu, a new take on the classic horror tale. I kept scanning Rose behind me. He was there, a few seats back, laughing at the same bits, sipping from the world's loudest straw, and I couldn't focus on anything else. Not even Hugh Grant could distract me, which says a lot. Friday arrived, and I was determined not to see him. Ironically, I made a packed lunch, stayed late at work, even took a different bus, but by 5 I found myself at my godson Jake's football match. Cold wind, muddy pitch, parents yelling encouragement like it's the World Cup, and there he was again. KP on the sidelines, cheering every goal like he belonged there. He was wearing a navy coat and a scarf that looked far too expensive for a kitchen porter. My heart did that annoying skip thing again. Butterflies and all that jazz. So I asked around. "Do you know that guy?" I said to one of the mums. She squinted. "Oh, him? No idea. He's been a few matches, though. Think he's friends with one of the coaches." Which only made him more mysterious. That night I wrote in my notebook, Friday, football match. Also, he looked good in a scarf. Universe, please stop this. Now it's Saturday. There's a power cut across the neighbourhood, so I'm writing this by candlelight. The house is quiet. Too quiet. Except for the dog next door barking at shadows. I keep laughing at myself, because honestly, Deb, if I told anyone else this story, they'd think I was losing it. But what if it's not coincidence? What if fate's just clumsy? Maybe we're both orbiting the same few postcodes, crossing paths because we're supposed to. So now I don't know whether to laugh, scream, or buy a new outfit. Maybe all those meetings were random after all. Maybe this is how it starts, the first page of a story I didn't know I was in. And Deb, if I go tomorrow and it turns out he's real, not just my caffeine-fueled imagination, you'll be maid of honour. Your hopelessly smitten friend, Bethany Hargreaves.